Hello, Internet friends. My name is Catherine, and I'm the human behind Creation Miss Couture. And today is our 100th episode of Dye Pen. So I'm very excited to share this with you. For everyone who's been following along, thank you so much. For our new subscribers, thank you so much again for following with the journey. And if you've watched every single episode, if you've only watched one video, I truly appreciate it. So thank you so much. And what we do on this channel, well, we basically play with colors, we dye yarn, we try out other fiber arts, fiber textile arts related things, but it's always coming back to fibers, colors, and whimsy. At the end of the day, it comes back to whimsy. So if you're interested with any of that, you can follow along. Check my playlist. I have a playlist with all the hundreds and many more to come episode of Dye Pan. I've started a brand new playlist with my chronicles of what I do on a weekly basis most of the time. So if you're interested, please consider sharing, liking, subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And today, what we're going to do for this 100th episode is something special because I love pigeons. So today we're going to be sharing this. So my friend Madison, a while ago, she was doing a pigeon inspired color, and of course I had to join in the fun and do my own version of it, but I was not 100% satisfied with the color I came up with. So we're going to test the recipe I originally created, and we're going to tweak a little bit the recipe to see if I can achieve the look I was going for the first time I did this. And we're also going to compare that with a non-superwash color, just so we can see the difference between non-superwash versus superwash at the same time. So without further ado, let's get into this. So welcome back, and we are going to be doing our stock solution first to do this. And what I mean by I'm going to do a twist on the recipe I originally created. Originally, all those colors were going to be like mixed within, and I also had some speckles of this. However, I feel like this color last time for the last step was a little too intense. So instead of doing this one as an actual stock solution, I think I'm going to be speckling it instead of using it as a stock solution, if it makes sense. So we're going to compare it with it as a stock solution versus having it as a speckled at the end. So first thing first is safety, as always, because we only have one pair of lungs, so please protect them. So we're going to grab our respirator to create our stock solution. It doesn't have to be this specific brand as always. However, just make sure that it is going to be a mask that will catch any fine particles, so you will not be breathing in any of the heavy metals in the dyes. And those heavy metals do not get onto your skin once everything has been, set and all done. All right. So we're going to do classic socks and one alpaca for the non-superwash. So we are going to have 2, 4, and 6 total. I'm going to need my 100 here. Okie dokie. So let's do this. Oh, I need to check my recipe. Where is my book? I don't remember where I put it. Book? Recipe? Where did... Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, so... Okay, I got it. Just always make sure that your scale is at 0. Perfect. And I'm doing the stock solution for the 6 skeins of yarn. So let's come on, there we go. Always triple checking, making sure that everything is at 0. Perfect. 0, 0, there we go. Hey, I said 0. This is starting to be an older scale, and I'm pretty sure that some moisture got into the screen, so I always try to make sure that everything is fine. Perfect. Almost there. 0 is good. Okay, so you've missed a few things because my memory card ran out of storage space. However, that's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. What I was saying is once you've removed the dry aspect of the stock solution and the dyes and all that, well, you end up with a product that you can breathe. So we're just going to top everything up to where we need it to be. I'm going to grab more water. So it's really when the dry powders are on the dry format that we have to worry about breathing it in. So once it's no longer dry, we're all good. Oh man, I don't think. Okay, we'll be fine. Okay, and we've got all the liquid that we need. Right there, that's good. And we're good. Perfect. So we're gonna go into the dye pans now so that we can do the dye. So here we're going to have our classic socks that we will do like the original recipe that I've done earlier. And here we're going to have our classic sock with the twist where the last color will not be a stock solution but rather a speckles. In here we'll have our alpaca, 100% alpaca, which is non-superwash, to compare it. However, since I don't have the space to do 4 things at the same time, we're going to wait until I see here what I like the best between the original recipe or with the speckles rather than the original recipe. So to do the last thing. And yeah, so apparently we can do quizzes on YouTube now. So I might do a quiz at the end to see if which one you preferred, the original recipe or the slightly tweaked recipe. So we're going to grab my 200 milliliter and my gloves. We should probably not forget the gloves because I will end up blue. I'm blue, doo 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 doo. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to start with our first pan. So 200 ml, 200 ml, and 200 ml. Perfect. Okay, let's grab our skeins of yarn. And I've already put my citric acid into my pans, which are half pans, and they are catering pans that you can purchase on a webstorrent store, whatever its name. I'll have a link in the descriptions. It is not affiliated, it's just the one I used. Okay, here. Let's do this. And my skeins of yarn have been pre-soaking for at least an hour before starting the dye process. And I do not pre-soak into any citric acid or anything. I just add that to my pan directly. And the main reason why I don't pre-soak with citric acid in this case is definitely because I am trying to make it so that the color is striking at the same pace on all of the skeins. So that way, even though I'm adding one of the skeins last, it will still have the same time to cover the yarn. So you can already see the difference here between superwash and non-superwash, because our non-superwash, there's still plenty of color in it, even though it's the first ones that we've touched. And here we're starting to see less of the color already. Same for this one. It's already being striking right now. But that's okay. It's just a different way of dyeing. You just have to be a little bit more patient with your non-superwash. You see, it's already starting to get in there. So I'm going to wait for a good 5 minutes just to give a chance to this guy to absorb the color, and we're going to come back to do the second layer of color. Okay, so we're good with the gray for all our friends, so we can do our second layer of color. Let's do this. So here. So when I'm doing the same color more than once, I usually try to have everything within the same jar to create my stock solutions. So I will know for a fact that they have the same concentration, that I didn't do a missteps or stuff like that. So they will basically be within the same. So they're basically in the same dye lot. I don't know if you can hear Bruce, but he's barking at something. He's been barking. Oh, he's going to start barking so much more next week because school is starting again soon. Okay, so now that we've got our second layer, we're going to wait another 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that everything strike the color onto the yarn and that we can carry on with the rest of the color for the pigeon. So it's called iridescent pigeon. So I might do a pigeon 2.0 if I prefer this guy. We shall see. We shall see what we want to do with the naming of it. Okay, see you in 5. Okay, looks like we're good. Let's do this. Let's do the third layer of color. Okie dokie. So you can see that we're starting to be in a more intense colors. But it's going to be a little paler once it's on this yarn. Here. layer. And this layer is the main reason why I feel like my last layer of color, it might be a little too intense. And that's why I'm going to check if I like the last layer at the end of it, or if I think the speckles will be my best option at the end of it. And yes, I absolutely love twisting and untwisting my skeins to make sure that we reach the full potential of the skein. And I feel like it's also one of the reasons why most of the colors that I dye, it doesn't necessarily pull like other technique of dyeing. So do with that information as you wish. And like I said, the citric acid was already added into the water before putting the skein of yarns. So when it comes to citric acid, the rule of thumb is 1 teaspoon per 100 gram of yarn or fiber. I think I should have twisted that one a little bit more. It's okay. We'll have the other one to compensate. Oh, I'm sorry. I've tripped you. To compensate. There we go. Okay, so same thing. We're going to wait another 10 to 15, not necessarily 15 minutes, but we're going to wait at least 10 minutes because this color, it's like a blue purple, and usually those colors take a tiny bit longer to strike the color of the yarn. So I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, okay, we are good to go. And you can already see the big difference between the non-superwash versus the superwash with how much light patches we still have compared to this one here. Okay, so let's do our fourth layer. And all those white patches all comes from the natural resistance we have within the skein of yarn. Because every time I twist one side, it makes it harder for the color to penetrate. There we go. Okay, last but not least, there we go. And if you're gonna start to hear a lot of bubbling, you want to turn off a tiny bit, not turn off completely, but turn down your oven, because we don't want the water to be boiling. We want the water to be just underneath the boiling point. So between 85 to 95 Celsius is your best point of reference. Okay, now we're going to wait another 5 to 10 minutes for this color to strike. Ooh, I feel like this one, I would only need to do some speckling for this one. Yeah, I really like this color. It's so fun. I have some water and I'm going to put. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm making a judgment call for this one, and I'm just going to do. I'm going to let the color strike first, and I'm gonna do the speckles for this one for sure, because I really like how it looks. Okay, I will see you in 10. Okay, friends, it is time for the last layer for this guy, and speckles for the other ones, and you will see the difference. I'm very excited to see the difference between the two of them. Okay, let's do this. And I think the main reason why I wanted to have this final layer of color the first time was because I knew that we had quite a bit of negative space that didn't had color on it, and that's why I wanted to add that last layer, which is very pretty, don't get me wrong. However, it was not what I was going to do. I'm just going to quickly grab my respirator so I can do my speckling in safety. Give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to grab another glove. Ouch. Okay. Okay. Because you see, we still have quite a bit of negative space. So I think if we do it that way, it's going to be very pretty. Making sure that we have as much of that negative space as possible open. I'm going to quickly do the same thing here before applying any of the speckling, so that way I don't have to keep removing, opening my mask, because that's annoying. Can you see something? I hope so. And you can see the big difference between, because we don't have as much negative space with our non-superwash yarn, which is fun. We still have some negative space, but not as much. Okie dokie. And I will be able to remove my pen. There we go. You can take a nap now. Okay, I'm just going to quickly grab my respirator. And I'm still going to do this one of the, I will basically do 2 specklings. One the same as this one, and the other purple one. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Et voila. So now we're going to do 30 minutes on the stove. And we're going to come back and see the final result later. We're going to cook it for 30 minutes, then we're going to remove the remove the heat, wait for it to cool off before washing off any excess dye. Especially when we have speckling, we need to make sure that we remove any excess dye. So I will see you later, friends. Okay, so now we can turn off the heat because it's been 30 minutes. We're going to let it completely cool off before washing off any excess dye, and I will see you later to do that. See you. Okay, so now that everything has cooled off, we're going to soak everything together because we have the same colors, right? So it's not too bad to put everything in the same soaking water. And come on. It's going to be so pretty. I love it. Okay. So we're going to let this soak for at least 10 minutes. So that way we can make sure to remove any excess dye, especially coming from the speckles, because I did see some of the speckles. Like you can see, I just grabbed some of the zip ties and I have the purple on my hands. So to me, it shows me that we do have some dry powder on top of the surface with the speckles. So we need to get it soaked and then we'll have it removed. So I will see you in 10 minutes. Okay, let's take a quick peek at what we have. All the So I was expecting some purple in here, and we do have some of it, but not too much. It's not like crazy purple, but we do have some, which means we're going to do a second soak. Just to make sure that we got everything out of here. The last thing I want to do is ship yarn with dry powder on it and it screws someone's work in progress. That's the last thing I want to do. Okay, so we're going to let this soak for 10 minutes and we'll be back. Okie dokie. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Do we have purple now? And we're good. Oh, my glove. Great. Okay, so now we're going to put those beauties in my spin dryer so we can remove all excess water to speed up this drying process. And I will see you tomorrow with a final result. Bye. And here's the final result of our pigeon inspired yarn colorway. So first thing we're going to do is compare the non-superwash versus the superwash. As you can see, with the non-superwash, we still have some of the white spots that I was expecting for the not adding the purple at the end. And this is one of the reasons why I made that judgment call when it came to the non-superwash, because I knew that the purple would spread a little bit more than with our superwash when it came to the speckling part of the thing. We still have a good speckle happening, but it like had a little bit more time to like strike slower because it just takes the dye slightly slower, and we ended up with this, which is very pretty. I'm very happy that I made that judgment call when it came to this, because you can see also how a little bit more mute the color is here compared to there, but it's not that bad. We still have like striking colors, especially considering that this is what the Superwash look like. And honestly, I think if we're going with the pigeon vibes, this color with the speckle at the end, rather than having the purple as a stock solution, is more pigeon like, but I still feel like I prefer this color. I don't know. You can let me know in the comment which color you prefer, because at the end of the day, I think those two colors are beautiful and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to experiment with. And I have hair everywhere, unfortunately. So it is what it is. But you can see that we have much more white portion. So this is why I feel this is more pigeon-like, because the pigeons do have those white patch on their underneath their beak. I don't know, on their body. I guess it's the breast portion of it. I think it's on the breast portion. Yeah, that was Zoe. Sorry about the movement. So in with the speckles, I just feel this is more an actual pigeon, where this is pigeon adjacent. I don't know. If so, this is the OG recipe. This is 2.0 version. Let me know in the comment box below what you prefer, and we shall see if I add that as a guide to order to the website. So if you've liked the video, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you next one very soon. Bye!